Good morning, guys. What is up? Happy Friday. Welcome back to another episode of AKP Sports Talk. That's Ari. I'm Korea. Look, we are going to end the week here strong, obviously, now that, we have a lot more plays. Obviously, tomorrow we have all of our, obviously, football. We have a whole, preseason NFL slate. So, it's not the real thing, but, it almost feels like it. So we're getting there. And then, obviously, just getting through the baseball season. Obviously, for my international football fans, obviously today a lot of the Premier League begins today. Ligue 1 in France, I believe. La Liga officially starts tomorrow, or maybe they've already started. I'm a little behind on La Liga, but I know for a fact that Premier League and Ligue 1 start today. There's a lot of excitement in the air. Obviously, just ending the week strong. Obviously, we're gonna get some picks out here on this August 16th here. Let's end the week strong here. Here are my two best bets here. First, we're going to go to the diamond here, where I actually, slowly been kind of consistent on the diamond, pretty recently. I haven't been too bad, but, I've been slowly consistent here. We're going to keep that consistency going here with pretty much one of my favorite plays that I like to take, just backing an offense here. We're taking the Orioles team total here over 4.5, minus 125. Look, the Orioles are coming back home, obviously, after, they just hosted the Nationals, for that little, 3-game series. And now they just beat the Red Sox in game one, of that series yesterday. I'm looking for them to repeat that once again, their offense, obviously. I love backing the Orioles offense at home. Obviously, yesterday, a very, slow game offensively, but I kind of was more backing, both teams to kind of struggle. Obviously, first game out the gate, I kind of know both offenses, usually are kind of slow in that first game of the series. But now, obviously, it's returning Cooper Criswell for starting for the Red Sox today, and he already has bad numbers against this Orioles team, especially the Orioles bats at home, where they just somehow just go. They're already great, but they just go to that next level when they're at home. They're hitting 412 off of him. Obviously, take it what you will, because Cooper Criswell, he hasn't really had like a long, decent start since July 23rd when he went 7 innings again. Well, you can take it what you will against, the Colorado Rockies, but he's been getting banged up all season. His last bad start, ironically, was May 27th against, oh wow, the Baltimore Orioles, where he gave up he gave up 7 runs on 4 innings. So I'm looking for a repeat of that. And it's in the same position here. It's literally a repeat of that day. It's his first day coming back from injury too. So I always like to target offenses against a returning pitcher. Obviously, he's been out just for a little bit. He was on the 10-day IL, but I'm not really targeting the other side. Obviously, I do like the Orioles on the money line if you want to throw that in the parlay, but I already know I think that's climbing in the minus 145 range. So I wouldn't want to take it straight. I'm just taking the Orioles offense to show up today. I do kind of like the money line. Obviously, you think, oh, Corbin Burns obviously at home, but we just talked about how the Red Sox bats against right-handed pitching have been super hot, obviously, and even though obviously Corbin Burns has been pretty electric, it's kind of the battle of two. Something's got to give. Either Corbin Burns, and his consistency as one of the best pitchers in the MLB right now for the AL, or the Red Sox high-powered offense against right-handed pitching. So I don't really want to have to take any of that battle. I'm just taking the Orioles here. I like their offense today. In this matchup here, just taking their offense against a pitcher that's returning, and they already banged up earlier in that same spot at home against Cooper Criswell. He allowed 7 runs on 4 innings, so I'm just backing their offense once again, not having to worry about who wins or who loses, just backing the Orioles to score 5 once again. I think that's a great look at minus 125, and then I have a little footy parlay, obviously, to start out the Premier League / Ligue 1. First in the Premier League, we're going to take Man United and Fulham here. We're just taking both teams to score here. I was thinking about taking a straight, but I know that has been climbing all the way up to minus 165, and I just think you might as well just throw it in the parlay at this point. I just know both of these teams are going to score. I know Man United's going to score, obviously, at Old Trafford. The one concern a lot of people are thinking about is this team is injured, and that's fair. They're not fully strong right now. Hoyland's out. They're strikers, so that's a big miss. That's a big miss for them right now. Lenny Yordo, that's a big miss for them right now. But they still have plenty of talent around. Kobe Mainu, Garnacho, to get some goals in the back of the net, right? And I still think that this team, obviously, at Old Trafford, it's a home game, obviously. I think the nerves will kind of be a little slow, so that's why I was also maybe targeting like a first half under potentially as a separate play, just because, it's the first game of the season. Both teams aren't, Man United is still not fully strong yet. And, I don't really know how Fulham's looking like right now. I don't really know. They've played some preseason football, but, it's nothing to really, say, oh, wow, this team's really going to be something this year. So I'm just going to take both teams to score. I know they'll probably score in the second half. But I just know they'll probably get at least one, because I know as soon as if Fulham scores, if hopefully the idea would be if Fulham scores first, because I already know the United would be scoring after. Because if United score first, then it's going to be really hard for Fulham to get one, especially with that back line for United. So I'm just taking both teams to score here. And then obviously in the second game, which actually kind of starts a little bit earlier, but almost at the same time, PSG money line. We're just taking them to win here. Look, I know, Korea, they don't have Kylian Mbappe, right? I know. But they are still very talented. Obviously, the thing about the French league and just all the French owners is that they have pockets, right? They're going to go get someone before the transfer window ends. I've been hearing Osimhen linked with PSG, which would set them over the top because Kylian Mbappe, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Victor Osimhen, my goodness. But I know they're playing Le Havre right today, and I think they've won in that matchup. I think like 9 out of the last 10. I'm just taking them to win today. Whether it's 1-0 or 2-0, I think PSG just get their goals. Obviously, probably led by Gonzalo Ramos. He's probably going to be leading the attack for PSG right now. Before they get someone in, and before they really try to get someone before the transfer window ends. Le Havre, obviously, not the greatest team right there. Not too many. I think they finished near, I think 14th or somewhere in Ligue 1 last year. Just not really a mid-table team in that in that league. So I'm just going to take PSG just to win here. They're the better team outright here, and they've won on the road here, obviously. So it's the bigger caveat. But when you see a money line, this is kind of also a little bit of line reading here. When you see a money line for PSG about 250, that's kind of saying that they're going to win by at least one. Kind of like how Real Madrid the other day, they were, I think, minus 265 against Atalanta, and they won 2-0. So, it's kind of just saying that, when a money line for soccer is in that 200 to 300, they're saying, yeah, this team is easily going to win. So you might as well just throw that in the parlay there. I didn't want to take PSG win or draw because that was already super, super juiced, and that wasn't going to help anything. But for a little plus money here, I do like this, just both teams to score, and then PSG on the full game money line. Obviously, the one caveat is if they draw, and then we don't win, which would be a shame. So we do need them to actually have a lead. We cannot have them losing after the 90. We need them to actually, or draw. We need them to be having a lead, and I'm very confident they will have a lead after this matchup that actually starts in about an hour here. So that's my one play to. Those are my 2 plays today. Excuse me. The Orioles team total here over 4.5, minus 125 on the diamond, just fading Cooper Criswell on the mound, and then going to the footy matchups here, Man United and Fulham, both teams score, and then PSG on the money line on the road here. Little parlay comes out to plus 120 on DraftKings. Those are my 2 plays today. Ari, have you cooked anything up for this Friday or anything this weekend? What have you cooked up for pretty much just for anything coming up soon?
Yeah, so I just have one play for tomorrow, but it's real quick. My Chiefs 3.5 first half play. It's already up to 4.5. Like I said, I thought it would go up a point, so that's worth noting. I mean, I still like it at 4.5, but obviously a little bit less than 3.5. Obviously, but my one play again, NFL preseason, going to the Bills Steelers first half over. We have the debut of Russell Wilson, who's expected to play, I think, 3 or 4 series. So between him and Fields, you should have them playing the entire first half, I believe, at least. I mean, 3 or 4 series is at least a quarter and change, obviously, and then Fields will get some series in himself, so that should be the whole first half. And then I'm not totally sure what the plan is for the Bills and Josh Allen, but he played in the first game, so I assume he plays at least a little bit. At least he only played a drive, I think it was, or maybe 2 drives in the first game, so maybe he plays a quarter, maybe in this game potentially. I don't know for sure. I haven't seen anything confirmed, but I assume he'll at least play a little bit. And then you have the 2 Steelers quarterbacks, Fields and Wilson, playing the entire first half. So overs are kind of risky preseason just because a lot of the games have been going under. I think I saw it was like 80% of the games so far I've gone under. It's not. It's obviously it's only been 1 week, so it's small sample size, but obviously Wilson Fields both have a lot to prove. Obviously in the preseason, so they're gonna be treating it like a regular season game. I think with how hard they play. And then Josh Allen, he won't go as hard, but if he can at least play, close to a quarter, 2-3 series, they could probably, get half his, get like 10 points, or 7 points or whatever, something like that. So, with these preseason plays, I'm just looking to back first quarter, first half plays where I know you're going to get the starters playing, and at the very least, you're going to get a full half of the Steelers of Wilson and Fields, and then hopefully a quarter of Josh Allen to get, this would be at least 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals, so 4 scores essentially, or 3 if you get 3 touchdowns, obviously. I looked at first quarter. I was hoping to get first quarter at 6.5, just like 1 touchdown, but it was at 7.5 at plus money. So that could be a look for, a touchdown and a field goal in the first quarter. But I elected to go with the first half here over 19.5. So that's my one play for this weekend.
Yeah, obviously you already mentioned your one play you gave out yesterday with the Chiefs first half spread. As you mentioned, it already climbed a whole point. So, obviously Vegas, some line, obviously, steam going in your direction, obviously with the Chiefs announcing that their starters are going to be playing the first half. So obviously that's could be a good sign. Obviously could be a bad sign. You never know. But, for right now, it seems like it's going pretty good in your direction. And then you mentioned with this new play here with the Bills and Steelers, look, you mentioned with the Steelers, it's a true QB battle, which honestly was kind of surprising for a lot of people because everyone assumed that Russell Wilson was going to be the presumed starter. But the way Justin Fields has looked at camp has been impressing that Steelers organization. I feel like, that first half over is a good look. You mentioned the first quarter over as well, but, with just those 2 quarterbacks alone, mostly just probably getting a lot of first half time just because of the fact that, they are competing for that starting role, alongside the fact that, even though, Josh Allen's probably not going to be playing all of the first half, maybe some of the first quarter, some of the first few drives, we know how talented enough he is to get one in the end zone. And, all we need is 20 points. So potentially, a touchdown from each quarterback, which Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, or, whether on that drive or whatever happens, that's 3 touchdowns. Obviously, that's 21 points. So that'd be a winner for you as well. Or maybe, as you said, a couple touchdowns and a couple field goals as well. Just, maybe some stall drives as well. We've seen a lot of that in the first half as well. You also mentioned, a lot of full game unders as well. So that could potentially be a look as well. After the first half happens, a lot of these teams sub out their main guys, especially when they get into these later preseason games. They're probably going to have a lot more of their starters potentially playing, a little bit less, just for injury prevention. We've seen a lot of people, especially in Minnesota, go down early, due to injury. And I know probably concerning a lot of the NFL, just in terms of these, we've already reduced the preseason from 4 to 3 games. So, just a lot of concern in terms of the starters. So that's why, just targeting the first half in terms of, these preseason plays is definitely a good look for you. So I definitely agree with that play with the Bills and Steelers. I was also looking at that first half or first quarter over as well, with the Steelers having a true QB battle and Josh Allen probably getting the drive or two to get his legs warm for the season. So I like that play for you, first half over 19.5 points in Bills Steelers. And then my 2 plays for today. Obviously, Ari's game is tomorrow, but my 2 are today with the Orioles team total over 4.5, and then the 2-leg parlay in soccer, Man United Fulham, and then Man United Fulham, both teams score, and then PSG straight up on the money line here. Obviously, we need them to win, no draws and no losses there. Obviously, you can find all of these plays and this video on our Twitter below, AKP Sports Talk. We will have our full video and our card posted momentarily, but that's going to do it for this episode. Next week, we're just going to be focusing fully on college football. We have been waiting for this moment. We are about 1 week away, obviously, from the kickoff in Dublin between Florida State and Georgia Tech. We're going to be getting ready with our first week matchups. Obviously, we're going to be giving our best bets on Friday. So a week from today, giving our best bets for that Saturday game, or all the Saturday games, and obviously giving out some more college football futures in terms of conferences, potentially, some breakout players and whatnot, to keep an eye on as well for each conference, potentially just giving out some more futures as well. We're going to be looking all into that next week. So this is going to be a huge college football week. So for all you college football fans waiting for this, it's your moment. Next week, starting Monday, we're going to be diving into some college football futures, just getting ready, for the big game on Saturday between Florida State and Georgia Tech in Dublin. But that's going to do it for this episode. We appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. That's Ari. I'm Korea. We appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Win some money, and we will see you guys